Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato with you on another beautiful Sunday afternoon in Hollandale Beach. A Sunday fun day here at the track. We've got 9 of them for you. Fast main track, a firm turf course, Tapeta in play as well. And that Rainbow Six growing ever quickly after a good 11 race card yesterday. A couple of turf stakes. That Rainbow Six will kick off today in race number 4, up to $175,000 already in your estimated jackpot. $104,000 is the actual carryover, and Preakness 150 yesterday up at Pimlico. Ron and Samantha and everybody down here was up there. They'll be back with us next weekend, but what a performance by journalism, snagging victory from the jaws of defeat, and just a breathtaking performance that kind of brought back memories of a Fleet Alex back in the day, 2005, I believe it was. We'll take a look at it in the lightning round, but we've got a fun one here today as well, a trio of turf races, and the early pick 5 gets going here in about 56 minutes. If you're joining us or you're not doing the math, we're going to have about a 12:55 first post today. It'll be about 5 minutes later than scheduled. Let's take a look at the early pick 5. For me, big scratch in the opener, so we whittle this down a little bit. Race number 2. Top pick is the 2, and that is Imperatus. Race number 3, you can see the single in there. My best bet of the day is Cajuns Cookin'. Race number 4 is the 8 on top for me on the outside, and that is Practico. And in race number 5 on the Tapeta, we go all the way to the outside, and that is the 11. And that is Cooter's Revenge for Eddie Plesa Jr. and Edgard Zayas. That's an $18 early pick 5 ticket. We'll get back into this opening leg here, and I mentioned a key scratch at 1 mile for 12.5 claimers on a fast main track, 4-year-olds and up. The big scratch is the 4 Proverb is not going to run today, as well as the 7 Come Dream With Me. So the 4 and the 7 are out. I always had the 3 on top, Bold Looker. It's so early in the betting right now, but he's 6-5. I sure hope we don't get that by post time. But he rises. He essentially doubles in class off a solid 62.50 win last time for Carlos Narvaez. He's 3 for 7 on the main track here at Gulfstream Park, 5 for 7 in the exacta. That was a good win last time. Now, he did get a meltdown. Don't get me wrong. Everything's set up for him that day, but he did it the right way. And now, especially with Proverb scratching out, I think he's a player in here. Even with a big scratch, he's got to be 3-1. 4-1 by post time. Otherwise, he'd be a big underlay. But I think he is eligible to improve, even though this is a double in class. Power Humor, I don't know what we're going to get. I'll tell you what, if Proverb's going to be scratched and Power Humor is going to be 7-2, watch the tote board here. You don't want to see that. What a huge class drop. This is a horse that would literally lap this field if he was good again. But we're not going to see that. Where is his format? We don't know. He was beaten 1 horse home when he was beating a football field last time in an optional claimer against a really good group. Princetown, first time on the main track, just ran off that day. But now we're just dropping so stiffly. Victor Barboza does typically put them where they can win, so we'll see. And he's not at the bottom, but this is a very scary drop. That was also his first start off a middle of October layoff. And my goodness, he did not run an inch that day. This is the definition of tread lightly. Uranium, the 5. Where'd that race come from last time? That was, I think that kicked off the Rainbow, or it was the second or third leg in that mandatory Rainbow day. And he ran huge. He headed out self-taught, and both of those horses were about 6-7-1 that day. And they were kind of outsiders, and they just had the whole race to themselves through the stretch. And I don't really believe in it, but it was a good effort, and it was a fast race for the level. If Uranium from a good outside attack post can run back to it, he's got a big chance in the opener. We get to the turf in race number 2. It's at a mile here, and do take note, this is a traditional setting. The rails are at 0 feet. That is great to see. 17.5 maiden claimers here. 3-year-olds and upwards, a clean field of 10. Not only is it the early pick 4, which I'll just tweet back out a little later on, but it's the TT pick 3 as well. We'll take a look at my ticket here. $3 base wager with a 15% takeout. It's a great bet for the player. You can see I'll go 2 deep here. The next turf race is in race number 6, and in that spot it's my long shot, and it's a reach, but it's the 5 Deflection. We'll have a big favorite on the towards the inside in Hot Cargo, and in race number 9 we will have a bigger favorite, I think, with the 4 Surfs Up for George Weaver. Huge turf return last time, beating a neck. And Mr. Banks ran yesterday in the Roar. That is the single at the end of the card. $12 for the TT Pick 3. Let's get back into it here. We've got a big Imperatus is the 2 here, and I like the ground saving post. We've talked about this a lot with the rails out, but even though this is a traditional setting in here, I think Imperatus is in with a good spot. Rajiv Mirage is going to ride if you have an early print. It's not Edgar Zayas. Rajiv will be aboard. He rode him last time. This is a horse that just really fits snugly with this group, even though he's been kind of middling at the level last time and 2 back as well. He fits nicely with this kind of group. There's not a lot in here, and I think this could be the day. Antonio Sano kind of overdue to get going. The 6 is Operation Thunderbolt, and I expect him to be favored in here. He's got good turf form, albeit from Mark Cassie. Bruno Tessori is going to take over. We've been fresh him. We haven't seen him since January 8th, so he passed on the championship meet. He's worked well enough for this. And that turf race back on December 14th, that was a long time ago. I get it for a different barn, but that's as good as anybody's doing in here. If Operation Thunderbolt returns running, he's going to be tough. The 4, Ocala Rocket, don't really know what to get from him because he was really not good at all last time, to put it bluntly. Trainer switch now to Ronald Coy. The turf races, albeit at Tampa, 2 and 3 back, fit with this group. We're going to find out where his form is today in race number 2. Race number 3, we go 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, and it is a 17-5 claimer here. The 3-year-olds are going to go at it. Luca Panici still off his mounts today. Luca, if you're watching, get back here soon. We miss you. Edgar Perez is going to ride the 2, and that is Here Comes the Peach. I mentioned my best bet is in here, and that is the 7, and that's Cajuns cooking. Really good third last time, facing winners for the first time. Rajiv Mirage has ridden him very, very well. 5 times in a row he's hit the board, and it's tough to face winners after a maiden win, and he did it well last time, and I like this outside attack post. There's plenty of speed to set him up. I think Cajuns cooking is in a great spot. What do you get from the 4, Dios Will? I don't know. It's a huge move to Victor Barboza, so I think they're going to bet this horse. He wasn't very good last time. It's a stiff class drop for him with Victor Barboza taking over as well. He's probably the horse to beat. He's probably the horse to catch, but there's speed to the inside. There's speed to the outside. We'll see what we get from him. I'm a little leery. I think he'll be over bet, and I think off that kind of disappointing race on February 15th, we'll just have to see. The 1 is El Mayo. Don't sleep on him. He ran very well last time behind Nishumi, who's just blitzing horses right now. He wasn't that far behind Nirvana, who's the 5 in here, but Nirvana's probably going to get waylaid by the speed in here. Well, El Mayo's going to drop back and try to make a run. 5 furlongs is not ideal, but he is going to come running late. I don't know if he can pass them all, but he might be a good anchor for you in your exotics, and I already mentioned Nirvana, who's got the speed. Did draw well to be outside some of the other speed, but if you're going to play on the front end in here, that's a tough way to last. He was also 48-1 last time. We've seen it time and time again where horses blow way up on the Tapeta and they struggle to keep their form consistently. So we're going to play against him at least a little bit on the upper rungs there. Let's take a break. 9 of them for you on a Sunday fun day. 3 down, 6 to go. When we come back, it's rainbow time, 175 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato with you. 9-pack here on Sunday as we wrap up another 4-day race week in the Royal Palm Meet. We're ticking right along here. Race number 4 comes about the Rainbow Six. $175 in your estimated jackpot. Let's take a look at my ticket. Scratch down to a $28.80 ticket. The singles at the end, we'll get to it in a second. Race 5 on the outside with the 11. Race number 6, that's my long shot. It's a reach. I already talked about it. Deflection. Let's throw a blanket on race 7. I actually lost my top pick, which is a real bummer. I scratch into the 8, and that is High Limit Room. Race number 8, I've got the 3 on top, Denver's Alley. Those are the class, the 3 and the 2 officious. And then in race number 9, short number on the 4, Surfs Up, but he looks every bit of that. Second off the layoff there, and he ran so big last time. $28.80 for me in the Rainbow. Let's get back into it now. We'll kick it off in race number 6. We're on a fast main track, going 6 furlongs. These are $8,000 2Ls, 3-year-olds and up. It's a clean field of 8. We've got 2 class horses on the outside. Let's start with the 8, Practico. Jose D'Angelo dropping stiffly in class. He kind of got beaten up a little bit for 25 last time. A distant third when Arrogancy and Coldstream threw down in a real thriller. It was a 4-horse field, so we only beat 1 horse home, but this just kind of looks like his level. Jose D'Angelo took the waiver at Tampa off the layoff. 2 starts back off a very long layoff, almost a year. So I think Practico is going to find his group today. If there's anything left in the tank, he's supposed to hit really hard. Let's show you Endrick. He's the other horse. He's kind of the house horse because he ran so well when second, beaten just a length at this level last time. And this was basically a 3-furlong duel between Granite 7-6 on the inside and Endrick on the outside. And I know Endrick pokes a nose in front here, and he always had the best of it, pressing from the outside while the 2 was up against it from the inside. But boy, they ran really well, and they were almost 7 lengths clear of the rest of them. So I'm going to take this race at face value and think it was a really good effort. The problem with Endrick today, he probably susses out if he's going to go again like he did this time as the inside speed, and that means Practico is going to be pressing from the outside. Maybe Practico, who's been going 44 and change, is too fast, and that would actually help Endrick. Maybe he can pull that trip again. He's a big player off that race. Grand Jeffe, draw a line, I hope at least, through the Tapeta race last time. The dirt win 2-back was solid. The problem was it was at the bottom against 12-5 maiden claimers. That is not going to scare the Endrick or Practico, the 2 favorites in here. You know, the horses I've talked about are going to show a lot of speed. Danzig Chips is going to lay back. I don't think he's good enough, but he's another big dropper as well. He was last in the Arrogancy, and Practico beat him pretty stiffly, but he might get his flow today, and maybe he wakes up at what should be a square price. Let's go late pick 5 now in race number 5. We're at 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are 12-5 maiden claimers here, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch out the 2, Adjust My Halo, as well as the outside horse, and that is the 12, Mita Letta. Let's take a look at my late 5 now, and that's a $36 play. Everything is basically a run back here. $36. Again, the big spread in race 7 where I did lose my top pick, and we've got the anchor. I think that's going to be a universal single for a lot of people today, and that is the 4 in race number 9, Surfs Up. Let's get back into this one here. And I mentioned I'm on the outside, especially with the scratch now. Cooter's Revenge got back to the Tapeta last time, and he was okay. She was okay, excuse me. I like this outside attack post with Edgar Zayas because she's got the speed to get over a little bit. I don't see her being that wide into the far turn. The other thing about her is she's going to offer way more value than the horse that we would expect to be the huge favorite, and that is the 4, Rogers Park, who's 8-5 on your morning line. Could very well be lower than that. It's a maiden special weight dropper for Safi Joseph Jr. She did run well routing on the turf last time where she was favored in a watered down maiden special weight. I do think she's the horse to beat. She's never sprinted on the Tapeta. She'll be a short number, but boy, oh boy, he claims her for 35 last May. Doesn't run her back until late March of this year. 2 maiden special weights. She didn't run poorly last time. And now for 12-5, Don't you kind of feel a little worrisome there? Rogers Park at a short number looks like an underlay to me underneath. The 6, Arroya Dora, is a play in here for me. She's going to be used. She's an A for me. I don't know what we're going to get. Marty Drexler sticking around to run her. Of course, Marty back up in the great right north at Woodbine. Such a high percentage trainer. This will be the first time he runs her on the Tapeta. She is second off a bit of a layoff. Boy, did she not run at all on the turf at 5-1 last time. Blinkers come off today. A real guess, but in Marty, we do trust. Race number 6 kicks off your late pick 4 here. We're 5 furlongs on the turf. Take note the rails are at 80 feet. It's an optional claimer, 25K or a 1X for the fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the speed of Luna Luska. It's going to hurt me. The speed of Luna Luska is out. Rajiv Mirage on the 2, Hot Cargo. Sammy Camacho Jr. on the 6, Bayern. My pick is a reach, admittedly. Let's just take a quick look at my late 4 and we'll get back into this race here. And this is a $12 pick again, spreading in race 7, singling in race 9. Let's just start with the repay. Hot Cargo was really good, and I have to give her all the credit in the world because the runners up had a way better trip than she did. When you're dueling with Vindicate Cha-Cha, guys, stop betting Vindicate Cha-Cha for Pete's sake. She went to 8-1 to 5-2. I know she's got a big following. Please just stop betting her. This is what she does every time. She just hits a wall. If we ran 3.5 furlongs, she'd look pretty good out there. But when we're running 5, she's got no chance, and she's not a turf course either. But anyway, that's I'll get off a little tangent there. Deflection was running on late. She was wide on the turn. The winner was so good. Hot Cargo took all the worst of it. The runners up had way better trips, and they still couldn't get by her. I am reaching on Deflection, admittedly so, but that was her first turf sprint in 3 starts. I talked about it a lot yesterday. It's a big about face to route on the Tapeta or route on the turf and then get smacked at 5 on the turf or 5 and 5.5 on the Tapeta. She was 81-1. She was beaten less than 5 lengths. She drew terribly way outside. She draws much better today. It's a compact field. Edgar Zayas says, yep, Antonio, I'll get a board for you. Best turf rider we have. She's got to be a number in here. I'm going to take a stab at it. The rails at 80 feet don't help her, but she is drawn a little better inside. The race clearly goes through Hot Cargo. Boy, did she run well last time. And now you're going to get Rajiv Mirage on a catch ride. What a top front-end speed rider he was and is starting to be again now that he's getting his legs underneath it a little bit. Alice Doradas, here's Jose Morelos. You want to know why Jose Morelos has been so good? Go watch this ride. No speed ever from this horse, and he's got her pressing males in 43 flat. Knocked me out of everything that day. What a good ride by Jose, and she draws very, very well to be outside Hot Cargo, trying winners for the first time, but getting back in against her own kind, fillies and mares today as well. Late pick 3 kicks off in race 7. Let's go 5.5 on the Tapeta. 4-year-olds and up here. $10,000 is the tag. Scratch out the 1 Midnight Special. The 4 Jet Wings. That kooky dude is not going to bring his speed here today. The 7 Amora Lajano, who is my top pick, is out. We've got a jock switch on the 3, that is Cipriano Gil. On the 12, Edwin Gonzalez. The 13, Neophyte, is going to draw in and is going to run for Bo Chapman. We've got bookkeeping galore here. That's why the boss Pete's upstairs. He'll run you through it all as well. But I am going to scratch in to the 8, and that's High Limit Room, and I'll be perfectly upfront with you. I don't like this horse on top, but I scratch into him. I'm going 6 deep in all my horizontals. He is the class. I don't know what's left, if anything, in his tank, but if he feels like finding his form again, he will win this race. What you get today is a total guess. Now, to be fair, when we last saw him, he was in against way tougher during the championship meet on the inside, and he broke slowly. If you want to be hard-headed and you want to just look back at the Bob Humphrey and say that's the last time he was on Tapeta, he ran okay. I don't know what we're going to get from him today. To be perfectly honest with you, I would tread very, very lightly with him, to be sure. Let's show you Jimmy's Day and Ensign Parker. Ensign Parker actually got the better of Jimmy's Day, but this goes back to what we talk about a lot when the championship meet kickstarts and the Woodbine runners come down. This was Jimmy's big day, first run on the Gulfstream to PETA, and I thought he ran pretty well. He's not blowing the turn, but he's getting floated way out there. So Jimmy's big day is going to be third. Ensign Parker is going to be second. They both ran very, very well. Ensign Parker is the 12. Jimmy's big day is the 11. Ensign runs him down. He got floated as well. They both ran well. I just have to think that Jimmy's big day is going to be tighter with that race behind him today, and that was the last time he ran, whereas Ensign Parker, he snuck a start in on April 27th. He's now going to go off the claim for Gallegos and Amity Racing, who I do have a lot of respect for, and I would not want to play a ticket without those guys. Rough draft off the claim for Steve Badu. He's dropping after Steve aggressively spotted him last time. Steve's another guy that knows the score, to be sure, off the claim, so don't sleep on that one as well. Late double in race 8. It also kicks off the first leg of the coast to coast here. 5 furlongs on the Tapeta. 3-year-old fillies or 4 and up, which have never won 3. Your tag is a quarter. Scratch out the 5. Smile Poe. Ronnie and Samantha, can you get back for me, please? Here, we miss you here. The 1 Jokes Up. Jesus Rios will ride the 1 Jokes Up. Let's start with the 3. Denver's Alley. We've got the class of Denver's Alley. We got the class of the 2 Efficacious. And Denver's Alley, I think, being outside with speed, I think, is a huge threat in here. And the drop is big. When you're in 25 starters and you get to play for 25 claimers here, I think Denver's Alley could very well be a speed pop here under Amicio Jaramillo. You got to respect the 2, though. D'Angelo taking over for Al Gold. We've got some class. The problem is, here's a Woodbine horse. Here's a Tapeta. Here's a Turfway Tapeta horse, and he's coming down now, and he's going to try the Gulfstream Tapeta. Those 2 tracks are way different than the Snappy 5 we're going to run here. And if Efficacious doesn't have a lot of early speed either, that's a little worry to me too. Cipriano Gill's going to have to get him out and break running a little bit. You don't want to get shuffled. You don't want to try to loop him here at 5 on the Tapeta. I want to show you Jokes Up and Foggy Note. They ran 2-3 respectively last time. They ran very well in what was a good solid race for the level. Foggy Note on the outside, Jokes Up in a tricky spot down on the inside. Gallegos and Amity teaming up here again. I have tried Jokes Up many times, and if you're looking at the form with me, you're going to know I've lost every time too, because he just doesn't have it. He's there every time. I know he was towards the inside in this spot, but he's got no kick whatsoever, and he's done nothing but disappoint me time and time again. And I would be hard-pressed now from the rail if he's going to get a W here in and against a field like this, because this field today, with the class of the 3, the class of the 2, way better than what he's been facing of late, and that the same goes for Foggy Note. Let's wrap it up on the turf in race 9. We've got a big change in here. This is a maiden special weight, 5 furlongs for just the 3-year-olds. Scratch the 9 Breezy Z. That's not the big change. Eliza Greenidge on the 3 Red Thorn. That's not the big change either. The big change is the rails are at 80 feet here. Not the traditional setting. They go out to 80 feet, and if that's going to flatter Surfs Up, it sure will. Let's take a look at his return. Blinkers, Lasix off a significant August 3rd to April 20th layoff for George Weaver. Mr. Binks licking his chops in 3rd. He's going to win this race. I thought Mr. Binks ran fine yesterday for Joe Catanese in the Roar, facing winners for the first time. You want to talk about a horse doing all the dirty work and deserving a win and not getting it, winning the battle and losing the war. That is Surfs Up. Boy, did he run huge off the layoff. He probably thought he did win. I don't even know if he saw Mr. Binks looping on the outside. Watch him. Maybe when he does see him, he's going to kind of re-break again. You can see it right there. He wants it, and he just gets nailed. An absolutely huge effort. It wouldn't shock me at all. There's a couple scratches in here. They're not big deal scratches. Wouldn't shock me at all if he's 3-5 in here. The only question that you maybe have in the back of your mind a little bit, does he bounce off such a taxing return? George Weaver's having a strong meet, won another Royal Palm meet. He'll go over to Royal Ascot with Sandals Song next month. That's exciting to see. Won a race there with Crimson Advocate. Surfs up, looks like a real comer in here. The one, Deep Dust, you can't take anything away from him. Boy, did he run well last time, cutting back for Lisa Lewis. The problem is, with a rail setting at 80 feet and a horse that's likely going to have to loop the field from the back, that is not going to work well for him when Surfs Up just freewheeling on the front end. We saw it in the stakes yesterday. I was so wrong in the Roar when the favorite, after the big scratcher Rolando, the favorite got loose. It doesn't matter how hard and fast you run early. You're going to have a hell of a time running somebody down on the turf in here. The number 5, American Direction, will get first run on the one. Blinkers come off today. He's run well on the turf and the Tapeta for Eduardo Vasquez, who's looking for his first win of the year. You know what? If the favorite stubs his toe a little bit, if he bounces, American Direction's going to be in a nice spot when they hit the far turn, because he should get first run on Deep Dust. We got a fun 9-race card for you today. Again, the Rainbow in race 4. 175 in your estimated jackpot. I think we'll go over that. It remains to be seen. Fun lightning round to look back on. I wish we could show you the whole Preakness. We can't really do it, but you know, journalism, we all knew he was way the best horse, but he did it the hard way, no fault of his own. I don't know why he wasn't just looping the field 4 wide here on the far turn, but they chose to go up on the inside. And when you're the target, and when you're the favorite, and when you're the horse to beat, things like this happen. But to his credit, and Umberto Rispoli's credit too, this was not a good ride at all, but to his credit, he wanted to come through, and he did it, and he sent him through, and he deserves a lot of credit to that. I mean, how much the best is this horse? He's getting whacked around by the one there. I didn't really have any problem with Flavien Prat there. If you watch the head-on, don't fault Flavien there at all. Journalism, what's he, 10-1 right now? 8-1, 6-1, 4-1, 2-1, 3-5, 1-9. Look at him, stride out, my goodness. Poor Gosker. Hey, we saw Gosker during the championship meet here. What a phenomenal run he did with a huge pedigree by a Grade 1 turf winner. But Journalism, just what everybody thought the best horse, he was by far the best horse. If he goes around, he wins by 4. It would set up what we assume. I mean, Michael McCarthy, the trainer, they talked highly of the Belmont Stakes. Sovereignty, the Derby winner, the Fountain of Youth winner, the Curlin Florida Derby runner-up is waiting in the wings, and it will, if it happens at Saratoga this year, what an exciting rematch between the 1-2 finishers of the Kentucky Derby and the 2 horses that have won both legs of the Triple Crown this year. And of course, one of them we saw all winter long right here at Gulfstream Park. In time, Lorenz yesterday, Safi Joseph Jr. decided to run a couple of his big hitters yesterday in the dinner party, the Grade 2 at Pimlico, and Cash Equity was a bang-up second under there. But the B team, Lorenz, gets it done in a game performance over the house horse, the turf horse here, just a photo, who was 2 for 3 over the course. Good effort by Lorenz, getting it done in game fashion, in a fun one in the Mr. Steel to wrap up the card. Don't forget the Coast to Coast today. 2 here, 3 at Santa Anita, and I believe there are last 2 here. They are. And here's a good one for you. 2 hours and 2 minutes. That's my kind of spot here for what is a pick 5. $1 minimum, 15% takeout, and retail only. And that's one of the many reasons why Pete likes to call this Overlay City, and why Pete is correct, because it's a statement of fact. Check out the payoffs each and every week, way over the parlay. Speaking of way over the parlay, the TT Pick 3 as well. $3 base wager, 15% takeout. The 3 turf races today, 2, 6, and 9. You might have an anchor at the end, and maybe you could get a little funky in the first 2 races, and that's a good one as well. Best bet for me today is Cajuns Cookie. I never remember it. 37. Cajun's Cookie in race number 3. My long shot, that is a capital L with Edgar Zayas on deflection up against it, but the price will be right, and I think the flow of the race will be too, and a great turf rider getting aboard. That's it for me. I'll be back with you for the 9-pack. Pete Aiello upstairs with your scratches and changes. We'll get this thing going at about 12:55 p.m. I'll be back with you for the opener. See you then.